know I can speak for everybody. We're thrilled to be here and thrilled to be talking about this topic, and there is so much energy. We're going to rock this one, I hope. So I'm here to talk about kind of these overarching trends, and I think there's two really important converging trends around aging and our aging society and around technology innovation. And as a PhD gerontologist and a systems engineer who now lives in the Silicon Valley, I spend all of my time and energy thinking about this convergence and about the exciting potential at the intersection. We're not moving. There we go. Speaking of technology, everyone always gets a kick out of when the technology panel has tech problems. So I think this intersection is incredibly exciting. So what I want to talk with you about is what's happening in each of these respective trends, and then what are some of the exciting new things that are happening at the intersection. And with this audience, I don't have to spend as much time on the aging society trends, because you guys all know them so well and are living them every day. But I think it's important to look at some of them in aggregate, and Deb mentioned this a little bit. You know, these trends that are really forcing us to have to think about new models and change the way we currently deliver care. So I think if we think about, obviously, there's the increased longevity and people's desire to age in place. And as people are living longer, they're also living longer with higher acuity and often further from family. This alone is creating the need for new models and new systems to help support these desires and these changing consumer expectations. Also, we have great shortages of people like you. How can we create more of you and scale the great work that you do? We don't have enough geriatricians, we don't have enough nurse practitioners, we don't have enough professional or family caregivers to help support people the way we've been doing to date. And also, there's changing economics. We know that the Affordable Care Act is changing things. We know that nonprofits are struggling with their budgets. So essentially, this slide, the takeaway is, how can we do more with less? We have to serve more people. We want to keep quality levels up and getting higher, and we need to do it with tighter budgets. And I think innovation and technology, that's where innovation and technology can really shine. So when we think about technology innovation, there's some really exciting kind of mega trends going on. And I live up in the Silicon Valley, and the buzz is palpable. There's so much change, there's so much new innovation, and there's so much hope and optimism about the role that technology can play to create and solve social problems and problems in our workforces and problems in our world. So we're all walking around with computers in our pockets. This is amazing. In 1943, Thomas Watson, as the chairman of IBM, said he thought the global market for computers would be about 5. And I laugh when I sit there and I'm charging my 3 every day, you know, the iPhone, the iPad, and your computer. And so it's really amazing. We're all walking around with supercomputers in our pockets. This is helping with productivity and connectivity and helping us do what we need to do, both professionally and personally, more efficiently, and sometimes 24 hours a day. But we're not just walking around with supercomputers in our pockets. Increasingly, we're walking around with doctors and healthcare providers in our pockets. There's now all sorts of new digital health and mobile health technologies that are bringing healthcare into the home and on the go. And we're going to hear some exciting examples around telehealth and how we're taking care of people in non-traditional settings, and also giving people the power to take care of themselves. We're also seeing this trend of wearables, and I recently spoke at a conference, a wearables conference in San Francisco, and I pointed out that seniors were the first to do wearables. And our friends at Philips were really the first to bring wearable technology and bring it into people's everyday lives. And I think the neat thing that's happening with wearables becoming kind of a mega trend is it's making it even more permissive for us to be wearing devices that we're using to help monitor our health. And it says, instead now it says, I'm fit and I'm healthy and I'm proactive about my health. And that's a great message that we're all kind of making that socially acceptable. We're also seeing this Internet of Things. So now, not only do we have a computer in our pocket, but now our whole homes are kind of becoming smart homes, and we can have smart appliances and smart thermostats, and we can turn on and off the lights from our cell phone if we left them on when we left our house. And I think this has really exciting potential to think about how can we wrap some safety and smarts around people who are trying to live independently in their home. And in fact, my little side note, my dad is 80 and lives in Southern California. I live in Northern California, and he's my little guinea pig. And we have all sorts of things going on at his house around sensors and around his cell phone and my cell phone, because I think we're all learning. We're learning, what does it feel like for my dad and I to have a new form of communication about his daily activities? And I think this is all just starting, and it's something that I personally am very excited about. We also have all sorts of new social and communication models. How many of you have forgotten your cell phone before and just have this sinking feeling that you're no longer connected? I mean, I'm neurotic about it. I find myself tapping my pocket all the time to make sure that I have it. But it's really a great tool for helping us stay connected. And it's not just voice anymore. It's about this rich multimedia connection that we're able to have despite distance. Again, with my own dad, we use FaceTime on our phones, partially because he has very low hearing. And so when we talk on the phone, we miss a lot. When we do it with FaceTime, he can read my lips and he can see my expressions, and there's way more feeling of connection. Also, I now live in San Francisco. He was stationed there during the Korean War. So when I go on a run, I take him with me. I show him around, and we FaceTime on my runs, and I stand on the Golden Gate Bridge. So I think technology really has all these neat potentials to connect people in new and meaningful ways. I think also kind of on the practical side, in terms of how we run our organizations, I always chuckle. I talk to people in other industries, and I say, you'd be surprised how much paper there still is in aging and long-term care. But I think, this move from paper to digital and having information with us everywhere we go all the time and being able to know the latest about the people you serve is really critical. And I think mobile workforces that have tablets and smartphones and can give updates, I think is highly critical and really opens up new ways to work smarter. And that really opens up this whole big field of big data. So as we're collecting all this data, how can we not just think about what has happened in the past, but how can we use trend data to be smarter and more predictive and proactive rather than waiting until something negative has happened? So I think there's a tremendous amount that can happen when you bring these two worlds together, and we think about how can these latest and greatest technology trends be applied to some of the challenges and opportunities of an aging society. And I have the pleasure in my work of running something called Aging2.0, where I run a network of entrepreneurs all around the world who are excited about this space. We've hosted 40 events in 10 cities in 3 countries and met more than 1,000 entrepreneurs who are excited about this space. They're creating new mobile apps, they're creating new physical products, and they're excited and enthusiastic about trying to address some of the needs in this space. A lot of what they lack, though, is the insight that's sitting in this room about what do older adults really need? How can we refine these products? What are the highest priority things? And we're going to come back to that, but I want to talk more later about really this need to bring together this technology world with the people in this room who really understand the needs of older adults. So, oops, we're jumping ahead. So how can technology help us feel more connected, more empowered, and more meaningfully engaged as we age? I believe we're entering a new era of technology-enabled ADLs and IADLs. And I can say that to this room and everyone knows what I mean. Normally I put a different word there for the non-aging folks. I want to just talk to you about a few quick innovations that are happening in ADLs today. This is a device built by some guys up in San Francisco called Lift. It's called Lift Labs. They create Liftware. It's new technology to balance tremors. And it can negate a tremor and help people eat independently who previously were not able to do so. They have some fantastic videos on their website I suggest you check out where it shows someone eating dry cereal and it's flying all over, and they use the spoon and she's able to eat and feed herself, and it's amazing. And it's simple. The use of technology and design to prolong independence is really, really powerful. Bathing. There's entrepreneurs coming up with new bathing devices to make it both safer and more dignified as we age to bathe independently or with help. This couple in New York has developed smart diapers. And one of the interesting things that happens, I think, in our space is these parents first did it because they had little kids, the babies, and they wanted to know more. And I called them up right away and I said, did you know there's huge implications for this in the aging space? And now they're creating adult briefs that can detect infection, dehydration, and wetness. That has huge implications for this space, but often entrepreneurs don't know these problems exist, and so they create for the world they know, which is babies. So part of the work I do is to try to get them to know about the challenges and opportunities in aging and the way that the technologies they're developing can make a difference on the other side of life as well. Personal mobility. This is an exciting company out of Japan. It's creating this beautiful high-tech wheelchair that I think sends a different message. It says I'm high-tech and I'm cool. It doesn't lead with the disability. It leads with the application of good design and great technology to help them do what they want to do. Shopping. In San Francisco, we get to test out all these apps early. And so in San Francisco, I can grocery shop from my phone. I can order what I want. It can be at my house in 2 hours for $3.99. I'm giving you all my domestic goddess secrets. I never grocery shop. And I'm not a domestic goddess. Because I also cheat on housekeeping. There's an app. There's an app for that. There's an app for making same-day, on-demand housekeeping appointments, and they cost $20 an hour. This is changing the way we think about delivery of services and bringing services into our home on my terms, on demand, through my smartphone. This is changing consumers' expectations about how they're going to get these services. Transportation. As we all know, transportation and loss of transportation is such a huge hit to someone's independence. Well, I think technology can help here too. Google and their self-driving cars have a powerful video that shows a blind man being able to go to Taco Bell and drop off his dry cleaning. I think technology can do great things. Also, Uber, which is this on-demand transportation system that lets everyone have a personal driver, and you can have them come to your GPS location and take you where you want to go. Medication management, there's also some really kind of looking way forward, some thoughts about how you could digest something that actually knows you've taken your medication. This is Proteus Medical up in San Francisco. And then all of this rich communication technology, these new ways to communicate, is such a critical IADL. But what I want to point out is that I don't think technology is here to replace humans in any way. We don't have enough people, and so what I think the best use of technology is to do is let's let technology do the things it's good at. The impersonal stuff, the data collection, the efficiency, and then we can allocate these scarce human resources to do the things that only humans can do well, the real face-to-face caring and the dialogue and the conversation, so that you're not spending your day half on paperwork, half on caring, but maybe we can make that stuff more efficient so that you can spend all of your time doing the work that probably got you into this field in the first place.